Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to our first football press conference of the season. Normally, we'll be on Mondays. However, with Labor Day being yesterday, we booted to today. Paladins coming off of the season opening loss at Ole Miss. The new polls are out, and Furman is ranked 15th in the Stats Perform FCS poll, number 16 in the coaches poll after week 1. Home opener is this coming Saturday. It's FU After Dark, the Trilogy, 6 o'clock kickoff against Charleston Southern here at Paladin Stadium. We'll have all the broadcast information at the end of the press conference. We'll ask Clay Hendrix to open with a statement as he normally does, and then I will give Tom Van Hoy the privilege of asking question number 1 today.
All right, hey, thank you, Dan. Appreciate you guys being here, obviously here on Tuesday. Tough weekend, lots of ways. Brutally tough trip, 48-hour trip, and we were on the bus about 18 and 48 hours. We rolled in here Sunday morning at 8:30, and coaches went to work from the bus, and we flipped days with our players. They had Sunday off. We came back in yesterday morning and really got rolling, heavily towards correcting last week and trying to move forward to Charleston Southern. So again, obviously really disappointed. Really the way it played out. I know you go back and watch the tape. Kind of an odd game from a standpoint. I was looking for guys turning it down. I was looking for guys not laying on that. I didn't find a lot of that. We just got beat by a much better team. Obviously, there's a lot of things we could do better. There is a lot of good found. There's some things we got to get fixed. We'll continue to get better, but our guys will bounce back. They'll probably bounce back better than I have. But just disappointment, happens in a game. It's the age of college football. We played a team with tempo. They had tempo the entire game. They tempoed right to the end of the game. Man, really talented group. They keep the quarterback healthy. They'll win a bunch of games. Probably win a bunch of games if he's not there, but just really talented group. So with that, any questions?
Yeah, Coach, was it just important for your guys to get that kind of experience, a big time atmosphere, and you knew it was going to be tough coming in?
Yeah, I knew. I mean, we can say what we want. We played the team 50 times. I'm not sure a lot's going to change. The score, we could have done some things to make the score a little different. I think having the opportunity, and a team that plays like that, there's really two things. They're tempting. You got to get stops on defense, or you got to be able to possess the ball on offense. At least to try to run with that clock. We couldn't do either one. We dropped the guinea pig. We're off the field. We got him sacked. We got a face mask. It wasn't a face mask. We're off the field. I think his first scramble for a touchdown, Dwayne makes a perfect call. Our guy didn't execute what he's supposed to do. He scrambles for a touchdown. So it was those things. And then offensively, we just had trouble doing much of anything, blocking them. They've been a team that's been outstanding offensively. Now they bought themselves a really good defense, which I think makes them really good. But man, I've never seen a group. I've never seen a group. I hadn't played against a ton of those teams. Just from a comparison to the 07-08 Southern Cal team, just from a talent standpoint, just never seen that. But we carried 68 kids. I think 58 played the game. I know we had double-digit first-time starters. I looked it up. About half of our guys really never played a meaningful snap in the game. They had meaningful practice snaps. So yeah, we'll learn from that. Obviously, obviously we won't play anybody close to that talented going forward. Hopefully the game slows down a little bit. I think we learned some stuff about ourselves. We came out fairly healthy. We went in with, we got 6 guys out for the year. 4 that we started the season with. We had lost 2 more guys in August. And, we had 60 scholarships. You lose 6, you play on 54. They got 85. And they probably got another 20 on Monday that's getting money as a walk-on in NIL. So, it was, yeah. And, somebody mentioned to me on the sideline for a game, not one of our people, but a fan that was down there said something about the Chattanooga game. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, yeah, that can happen to us. I'm actually surprised it doesn't happen more. I think you'll see it more. I think if somebody's got the will to do that, they can. And, you know, and so I think some people probably don't, you know, I've been in that position a few times. And, you know, I kinda got the way I feel about how to handle it. But, you know, it is what it is, and like I said, we've moved on and we're full steam ahead. But, yeah, we learned a lot. I mean, that'll help us. That'll help us. And, you know, you don't wanna feel that way again. So, we'll learn from it.
Do you think, you know, that being the opening game of the season, would it be different? I mean, is it
I'd
like-
much rather play the second. I
Right,
just, to
right.
be honest with you, you know, I think the first week, everybody's excited. Is it gonna change anything? No. You know, we didn't change anything, no, I think, you know, it's funny, this is even coming up with somebody had a conversation with one of their guys. They thought the help of communication was huge for them. You know, they go so early, they go so fast, they have so much time, they almost run the video game, you know, all their checks, you know, and I guess it cut off at 15 seconds, which I think is what the rule says. Now, I'm not sure about that, how that all works, who's checking all that, but, you know, and so, you know, a guy like that, a veteran guy that they can sit there and communicate with him. But we knew that, we knew that we checked a bunch too, so, but no, I'd rather have a game under my belt, but I think now probably it's good that it's behind us, we move forward.
Watching the game, I was thinking about the old, saying, what doesn't kill you makes you better. And it may not be good, I mean, I was worried about the game because it was the opener, and that probably heightened things. But in a way, it's good to get the hit behind you, and I mean, it's time to move on. I mean, you wouldn't wanna open so as a.
Yeah, well, I think, you know, when you see out on the schedule, I've said this all along, I think college football's all about matchups. Man, that's a really tough match. They scored points on they scored points on Georgia and Alabama. I mean, they scored points on everybody. And the way they play, I think, in Tennessee, we use that example, it's kind of the same way they play, kind of similar style. You know, and to be as young as we were, and we got younger in August in the back half, because we lost a couple of guys. But you know, what's interesting, you go back and watch it, I don't know how many times, you know, we're matched up with them, and I tell you, the guy could just, you know, I think they got 5 guys out, we're in pretty good position on 4, and the 5th guy's with his guy, and just can't cover him. And the guy made every, you know, he just made every throw. You know, and yeah, there's some things we didn't do very well, but it was just, you know, I mean, that showed up a lot, so it's stuff you can build upon, I think, even offensively, you know, just getting hat on hat, trying to block guys, you know, just, it was tough going, and, you know, we thought we could win a little bit on the perimeter, and, you know, we got beat up a little bit at times, you know, getting off the ball, then we looked to the other side, you know, Coleman's beat his guy, you know, and if we could been going there, so it just, you had to be about perfect, you know, and your, you know, I think just your margin there is so thin, you know, you know, and then like I said, it just kinda, you know, we had 4 pre-snap penalties. I didn't think the environment was, I mean, we've been in a lot tougher environments, you know, I thought, other than the team you're playing. You know, like, gotta get those cleaned up, and, you know, a couple of, you know, we get a face mask on a receiver. I told the guy, I don't think that'll be called again this year in the SEC. I saw the first picture I saw was of their receiver taking Jalen motion with his hand and his face pulled into the ground. He's got the ball in the other hand. Yeah, we had a couple little chunk plays there, but, you know, we did, like I said, everything was up here.
Coach, just, we've all been aware of the difference between FCS and FBS, but there's always been a difference between FBS as well. The geography kind of dictates who you guys play versus what other FCS teams
Oh,
play.
no question. That
And
never gets figured in.
Right.
This thing, so.
Well, now also with some schools having $1 million worth of NIL, do you kind of reevaluate how you schedule? Because I guess you can't really prepare for who's going to have what when it comes to
Well,
NIL.
I think this, again, it's about matchups, you know, and I don't know, the only thing I ever remember about this game, maybe it was on the books that just got signed when I got the job. You know, and then we added the William Mary, which was another longer trip, which I wasn't happy about having both those trips on the same year, you know? And I don't know what, I mean, Ole Miss hasn't won a conference championship in 60 years, you know, cause I looked it up, 60 years since they won a conference championship. Now, when this game was at 5, 6, 7 years ago, I'm not sure what their record was, but I know they weren't nearly as good as they are now. I think sometimes it's catching, it's a little bit of luck of the draw, and when you catch people there's just certain times you're gonna match up better. You know, if you're catching a starter, I watched Western and NC State tonight, Western played really well, but, you know, got a new quarterback in there, and he's an old guy, but you can tell he wasn't very comfortable in what they were doing, the offense, you know, and so can you limit how many points, you know, I've always thought these games is who your defense can match up with. And man, you know, who's gonna match up with that group, you know, there are a few teams that can, but, so it's just, I don't think so, yeah, cause one game we came out pretty, you know, they beat us up, you play, some of those matchups, you play somebody that really beats you up, cause maybe their style of play. And I think I'd probably rather play one of those teams, you know, just cause you feel like, if you keep it in a little more of a phone booth, you know, that's not college football today, just matchup wise. But I was proud of how our kids competed, you know, we just weren't good enough, you know, we gotta be better, we'll improve. You know, saying about week 2 versus week 1, you know, certainly not gonna be in a tougher place or a tougher situation to play. That'll help us.
Coach, we go into the game this week against Charleston Southern. How is the health of the team going in, coming out of the game with Ole Miss?
I actually think it's pretty good, you know, bumps and bruises was another disappointing. I don't know if anybody we won't have available that we didn't have Saturday. You know, we need 2 good days of practice. You know, Charleston Southern, I'm sure they're kicking themselves thinking they should have won the football game. And really good game, if you watch it, kudos to Siddle for coming back in the second half. Hard fought game, you know, kicking game really kind of ended up being the difference in the game. You know, this group's added a number of transfers. You watch him even a year ago, Coach Giordini, I got great respect for him. I like the guy, he's done a good job everywhere he's been. You can tell they got a little unique scheme on offense, which creates challenges, and they're unique defensively as well. You know, but again, I'm thinking they're sitting there thinking they should have won that game. I'm sure we'll get their best shot, and I think they'll get ours too. You know, coming in, you know, we go from a game that, I don't know, I told our players, nobody gave us a chance. Everybody will expect us to be the better team, just how to be expected. You know, we just need to worry about ourselves and seeing what we're gonna do to get better. And again, I think just the experience of being in that situation and realizing, you know, what you have to do to compete at the level we want to compete at. I think we'll do those things.
Clay, when I talked to Justin for our pregame interview about the quarterbacks, he said that in the plan, and we know how plans go sometimes, but he said the plan with Trey Hedden was not to try to make his debut come in one of those oh crap moments, his words. What'd you think about the way he played? What'd you think about the way Carson played under the circumstances?
I thought under the circumstances, they both did some good stuff. I mean, they did. I mean, obviously, you'd love to have a couple things back. But, you know, in some ways, we maybe protected a little better than I thought we could. But we didn't have a run game, you know, where that could offset that a little bit. You know, we took a few shots, wanted to take a few more. You know, really Carson only disappointed. You know, we hard count when the guys clearly, y'all saw he cleared outside. We're supposed to snap the ball and get a free delay. We don't snap the ball. The clock's been running, so now you got a short amount of time to call a play, and we get a delay right there, and that's on Carson. We should have snapped it. When we have one turnover, in that game, there's only one turnover. You know, and so, but Trey, out of the moment doesn't seem to kind of be too big for him, but, and I don't think Justin or any of us wanted to put ourselves in a corner where you're saying, I'm gonna play in this series. And, you know, we actually started the game okay on offense, but the ball, first one of the series, you know, get a couple of chunk plays and couldn't finish off a drive, even get in position to kick a field goal. But, you know, I thought we prepared ourselves slow down a little bit this week, but, you know, I think they'll be better.
Coach, in years past, you've rotated a lot of players in there, and particularly on the defensive line, side like that. Plan of attacking in this year to play a lot of different players?
Yeah, I think we played everybody on defense we had, but two guys pushed out. So we played probably three Ds, probably not three defensive spots, but I know we rolled 9 defensive linemen. You know, and some of that a little bit because of the way the game went, you probably had them in there a little more than you would, so. You know, I think that'll be the plan, there are a few spots a little thinner than others, but I still think we got, you know, depth there that we can play. You know, I think we had maybe one little minor cramp, you know, kind of thing that we dealt with. So, yeah, there's a lot of good things to think of.
Kind of switching gears to this week, I don't know how much of the Citadel Charleston Southern game you saw or looked at the film, but.
I had a long trip back, so we have a bunch of tape, you know, and, yeah, so, but, we watched, I watched it all, I watched both sides, I watched the TV copy, because sometimes you get a little interested. You see some things in the TV copy you don't see in the other.
So there was I guess Charleston Southern jumped out to a 17-3 lead and Citadel comes back. Is there anything that Charleston Southern did differently and maybe the Citadel did differently to adjust to what?
Well, I think first games are always a little unique, and like I said, I think sometimes you put too much stock in first games. You know, a lot of stuff happens. You know, maybe some people maybe think a little more of themselves after a game. Some people may think you're the worst team in the country after a first game. You know, so you just try to take a grain of salt, watch tape, move on. You know, Charleston, new quarterback transfer kid, who I think led him in rushing and passing. Thought he played pretty well, particularly in the first half. I'm sure the Citadel seems to be a little different offensively. I'm sure that called Charleston Southern. You know, it's always, what are you doing different, you know, from the year before? So I think a little bit of that, maybe caught up with them a little bit there. I don't think there was a lot, you know, there were a couple turnovers late in that game. It hasn't been a lot, like I said, the key game can't be a big part of it, it's pretty even match game. You know, I mean, you can imagine those two schools, as close as they are, that was a competitive, tell support both of them. You know, but, so I just think it was just boy, people made adjustments and, you know, some turnovers played big, you know, late in the game. And ultimately, keep the game from the side.
I know that there are many adjustments that coaches are having to go through that are indirectly, but not directly related to changes. But it seems like to me, you know, you've got the analytics, you've got the tendencies, you've got to study them fast. But early in the season, the people on the field are so different that I know that if you look at the Wofford-Gardner-Webb game, well, Wofford probably better. Gardner-Webb, who knows, but they have as more starters to replace than you did this year. And so early in the season, how is that to cope with?
Well, I think the biggest thing is just the sideline, how it's different sometimes. You know, there were a couple 10 people. The guy came off, one guy went properly equipped, and somebody pulled him off. Well, he's supposed to be able to field an extra point. You know, he's a young guy that's been in our program and hadn't played a lot. So I just think those kinds of things. You know, we went back over the entire trip. You know, what we got to do better. You know, there's certain things you can't control. You know, blew a tire out. We're not 10 minutes away. We left. We got time for the bus to pull out. We converted 3 buses. So it was an interesting trip. But you know, control what you can control. You know, we looked at everything we did, even staff adjustments, those kinds of things. I thought that kind of stuff we managed. I think everything. I think a lot of our problems are fixable. I can't say every one of control what you can control, don't worry about the other, just see if you keep getting better. Leadership's gotta continue to come forward, we got some good leaders on this team, we don't have nearly as many old guys, you know, we've been staring a bunch of old guys over there on the sideline for several years. We didn't don't have those guys like we did. There's an adjustment for that, you know what, we're kind of a much younger roster, even though we have a mixture of veterans, there's only two ways to fix it. You know, quick fix it, you either go buy a bunch of players, or you go take a bunch of transfers, we can't do either one firm. So again, it's developing those young guys, and I like the young guys we have, we gotta help them grow up. Our staff does a great job of that, so I think we'll continue to be a team that can improve. I did like the fact we had 4 non-conference games to start our season out. I think that's gonna help us. Yeah, the old punch in the gut, that was a punch in the gut, now that was about a triple punch in the gut, but hey, you know, we'll recover from that too. It didn't kill us, so we'll be all right.
Coach, I think you've alluded to it earlier, you're pretty confident in your team to bounce back from the opener, but obviously you got a young secondary, you got younger, as you mentioned in the preseason, and just looking at the Charleston Southern stats, kind of surprisingly only scored 21 given what their quarterback did passing wise. So I know that's gonna be a challenge this week.
Yeah, you know, I think, you know, with the guys, he's I'd best describe it, he's a grad student, you know, so he's an older kid. I don't know a lot about his play, I think maybe something hard about his playing time before, but he has poise. He's a good athlete, and he can make throws. Now, a little bit of nature, you know, they have an obstacle to a lot of their offense, and you know, it is, they fake something there, and the guy gets turned loose. Well, most guys can throw it down there and complete that pass, but he makes some good throws. I think they're a better receiver. I heard him say that. He said he has some skill at receiver. So, yeah, he's very capable of passing. You know, they're not a drop back, spread it out. You know, nothing like what we saw the other night, but just the way they go about it, he's gonna have a chance to get some play down the field. And, you know, we just got to get the back. You know, I think we had 2 sacks the other night. I told him the first play of the game was a sack. They didn't give it to us. And then Evan DiMaggio, that had been 4 sacks. You know, they got overruled when they called the face mask, you know, so I think we can do a pretty good job there, and I think it'll be a little bit easier this week, I hope, to get after the guy than it was the other night.
Last 2 or 3 seasons, excuse me, the home atmosphere here at Paladins Stadium has been really good, adding all of the elements outside and translated into more fans in the stands. Just from your standpoint, what does it mean to have a full house, whether it's, you know, the home opener or any other game that we have on the schedule? What does that atmosphere mean for you and your players?
Well, I think if you look, I think Hunter can probably tell you this, you know, Paladins State was won 1981, I was, the year before I came here, we won about 75% of the games. So we've had a pretty good home team for 40 plus years. So we play well at home. You know, and as we've seen that, you know, the TV stuff, how it's changed everything over the years, you know, some things Mr. Donnelly's done, it's still fighting inside the stadium. Certainly hoping they'll be there, you know, Saturday night or Saturday at 6 o'clock, but absolutely that helps. You know, I want that for our players, but, you know, if anything else, it's one for our players. You know, you put a headset on, you're kind of oblivious to a lot of that stuff, you know, once the game gets going. I do know that's important to our kids, and, you know, one of the things we're gonna do is be undefeated at home. We've been a really good home team, and, you know, we get a chance to try to build on that this week, but, yeah, I certainly hope first time I realized this, first time we'd opened on the road since maybe 18 with the Clemson, and then opened on the road over there, so, you know, 6 of the next 11 are at home. I think it's only the 3rd time since 2010 we've had 6 home games, and they've all been 12-game years, you know, so, you know, we'd like to take advantage of that, you know, we'll have a crowd out there Saturday.
Final thing as we get ready to wrap it up, and I don't know if there's gonna be a release coming on some stuff, so I don't wanna circumvent any surprises that may be coming, but I know there are some plans to honor Bryce Stanfield, number 97, on 9/7, September 7th, which is coming up on Saturday. What what can you tell us, or just,
Yeah, I think.
just having his parents, his family stay engaged with the program?
Well, it's funny you bring that up. Yeah, there is something in place. I think still kind of working through the details of it right now. I think we'll be ready to announce that. You know, I was sitting there the other night, and I made my way out there, and I got to the bus. My wife, well, she wasn't quite in there yet, but she made the 18-hour trip too, but, I sat there for a while. I thought we were taking a little longer than I thought we should be taking to get out of there. You know, and the problem was we didn't want to leave a bus behind because of the length of the trip. We wanted to stay together. So I made my way back around there. There's almost nobody outside the gate down there. Well, I ran a couple of players from the last couple of years that were there. And then I turned to Fred and Terry Stanley. And as bad as I felt, you know, about that whole night, you know, that just kind of changed everything. First, they were just appreciating our guys, what they did with his jersey there, you know, for the captains, you know, 2 of them decided not to go out, and they're gonna stand there and hold his jersey. We sent 3 guys out with that, so, you know, it's perspective, you know, and I've learned a lot about that. Is Saturday the worst thing that's ever happened to this football team or a long time? No, it's not even close, you know, it's not even close. So, but to answer your question, yeah, we got some plans, we got a cool thing to do, and hopefully we can get everything that we need to make sure all that happens exactly like we want it to this weekend sometime, but, yeah, and, you know, I mean, you know, 9-7, you know, playing on 9-7 home opener, I think that'll help I don't think our guys need any motivation, but I think that'll help our team.
Any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
No, I just appreciate you being here, and, you know, again, I'm excited to go back. It's Tuesday, it's work day. We came out yesterday morning with Labor Day, with the holiday, a little early, and had a really good day in the weight room, and, you know, been really pleased how our kids have responded, so far. Like I said, we're ready to, other than having to talk to you guys about it, I don't really want to talk about it. But I appreciate y'all being here, and, you know, like I said, I've been, you know, we've all been through that before, and as a head coach, I've been put in that situation where I'm on the other side, you know, and, you know, how you handle that too, I think is important too, so, but we've moved on, we're ready to get ready for the Buccaneers this week.
Well, I promise you, until we do our pregame interview, I won't ask you about it again. How about that?
Sounds good.
That is Clay Hendrix. This has been our first edition of Furman Football Weekly. Just a reminder that next week we'll get into our regular Monday at 11:30 a.m. schedule. Coming up on Saturday, it is FU After Dark, the Trilogy, 6 o'clock kickoff, the home opener with Charleston Southern, the TV broadcast via ESPN Plus, and of course the radio broadcast on our flagship station, the Fan Upstate, begins with the Pepsi countdown to kickoff at 4:30 p.m. Thank you for joining us on this first edition of Furman Football Weekly with Clay Hendrix. For everybody at Furman, I'm Dan Scott. God bless you. So long, everybody.